Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Discover and Connect Zoom meeting. My name is Silvia Sandrone, and I work at the Creative Europe Italy Media, which consists of 3 offices based in Rome, Turin, and Bari, and all managed by Cinecittà. As you might already know, our mission is to promote the funding, training, and networking opportunities offered by Creative Europe. So we are very happy to present you today the activities provided by International Screen Institute. International Screen Institute is beneficiary of the media call Skills and Talent Development. And in the last call, 144 training providers applied for a grant, and only 25 were selected. So it was a highly competitive call, and among the beneficiary, of course, we have International Screen Institute. So first of all, congratulations. They are not a newcomer. As most of the supported training activities. In fact, only 5 out of the 25 courses selected are completely new. You can discover them on our website. We have a section dedicated to training and funded projects. And of course, you can also contact us to know more. I will shortly give the floor to Andrea Pisu, Coordinator Operations, and to Esther Kraus, the Director, and they will give you some background information, and then we'll introduce you the course directors. At the end, there will be a Q&A session, so do not hesitate to ask your question in the chat. Or if you would like to take the floor as you prefer. So thank you, Andrea, Esther, and all the guest speakers for joining us. And thank you also to my colleagues Sara Bellinazzi and Francesca Messina for helping in the organization of the meeting. And yeah, I give you the floor, Andrea, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvia, for the introduction and for organizing the session. So I'm pleased to be here today and give the floor actually to our course directors for an overview of what's coming up this year. I'm Andrea Pisu, chairwoman of the International Screen Institute. And today in this session, there will be also Esther Kraus, managing director of ISI, Shile Kalli, audience design lab director, and Sofia Semeredi, co-course director for sustainability management. I will just introduce briefly and tell you a little bit more about what ISI does, what we do. So the International Screen Institute, it's a training provider based in Vienna. We are a no-profit organization. And as Silvia mentioned, we are co-funded by Creative Europe Media, and we are really extremely happy that we got actually the funds also for this year. Yeah, as Silvia mentioned, it was extremely competitive, so we are happy that the trust was renewed. We were established in 2020 by 2 Austrian production companies, Terra Mater Studios, where I also have the pleasure of working as a legal consultant, and Satel Film. We are project co-funded by Creative Europe Media and the Austrian Film Institute. And beyond that, we also have various partnership and collaborations with various stakeholders and players active in the industries, ranging from institutions, but also to companies, law firms, and so on. You will find all our partners in our website if you would like to discover more. So what we do is we provide trainings to media professionals working on an international level, film and TV media professional. Our trainings offer a compact format because they take place on site in Vienna. They have a duration of 4 to 5 days, and they are typically followed by an online module. All our programs are very much hands-on and practical. So actually they put together a theoretical part with a very practical approach. Because we think that to be business oriented and to have this business underlying knowledge is at the moment in this industry essential. So we really give a lot of importance to that aspect. And what also distinguish our training programs is that we like diversity in the composition of the group of experts that come teaching at our programs. So they do come from different professional backgrounds and also from different countries, which is very important for a media professional that wants to establish his career in the current international industry. And also in the cohort of participants that we combine and we piece together for the programs, we compose groups that have participants that come from different backgrounds. So I mentioned that our programs are targeting media professionals. This means they are not only for producers, filmmakers, but also for talents, for film commissioners. So for all the players that are active in the industry, because we really believe that each of the players actually can contribute a different angle and creates a very significant exchange and synergies. So for this year, we have a rich offer of 5 programs coming up. And I'm delighted that today we have a few course directors that will present their programs. If you have any questions, also from a logistical aspect, we will be happy to address them at the end of the session. Yes, so without further ado, I would like to also give the floor to Esther for a few introduction words and then to proceed with the session. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Andrea, for this nice introduction. Thank you, Silvia, for this opportunity. And thank you, Sheila and Sophia, for being here and helping us to present the program of the International Screen Institute this year. I'm Esther. I'm the Managing Director of the International Screen Institute. And I would be looking forward to seeing you all very soon in one of our programs. Another part that I would like to mention on top of what Andrea already said is that networking is, of course, a very important part of our philosophy, exchange of skills and knowledge between participants and experts. We really take the networking part seriously as well, and organize events afterwards for you to stay in touch and keep supporting each other. I think for now, that's it. Who am I giving the floor to, Andrea?
Yes, so Sheila?
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Up. There we go. It's just sometimes easier to look at nice pictures when someone is talking and kind of project yourself in Vienna in June in the summer with lots of great people. So thank you very much for inviting me. I just wanted to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about the Audience Design Lab. So I suppose first things are first, it's the 9th to the 12th of June inclusive. So it's 4 full days. It's in person in Vienna, like Esther and Andrea mentioned. And I think it's really important to know that being in person is hugely part of the program. It's very hard to do audience design, you know, on Zoom like this when we're all like the size of teeny tiny little post stamps. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention, that it's a really kind of immersive deep dive lab and workshop. So before I kind of jump to the content of what is covered, just so that you know whether you're eligible or not, we're inviting 5 film teams to come. The projects, we invite them to come with a project, and the project can either be in late development or in post-production. And the reason why we say those kind of very specific ones is because if you come too early in development with your script still kind of being written, or you've got a treatment, the likelihood is the work that we do during the lab won't be relevant anymore in your next draft if too much changes. So that's just my top tip for you, to not go too early in the process. And then, of course, you're not going to come in production because you're going to be filming and stressed out and thinking about all these different things. But we do also invite people to come when they're in post-production. So if you have maybe an assembly cut or a rough cut, and you want to do the audience design lab and kind of really understand what's in front of you, what its strengths, its themes, how is it going to project out to audiences, then it's a really good time and would be perfect timing. We have had projects in both development and in post-production come and join us. So you wouldn't be the first, but we would kind of maybe slightly tweak the content, which I'll come to now. So the teams should be a producer and a director. That's sort of, you know, the minimum requirement there as well. One, because I think it is the producer's responsibility to be thinking about who the audience is. And I'm sure you all have done the Creative Europe applications for Slate funding, and you know how important it is to be able to kind of describe those audience groups. So it's very important for the producer to be there. But I think also the director should understand how their creative voice and how their author voice also connects to audiences. So that's why it's a really good kind of way to align the group. And then we also invite, if you wish, a third person of your core team to attend. This could be a development executive. It could be an exec producer. It could be a co-producer. You know, if you're doing kind of Italy, Luxembourg, Bulgaria co-production, I don't know, maybe your Bulgarian producer would like to come, and that's a really good opportunity again to just be aligned. It could also be your distributor or your sales agent. I've worked a couple of times with distributors in the room, and it's been really, really interesting to kind of get their input and their local expertise. So if you're not sure and you have questions about who that third person can be, just drop me an email and I'm happy to just let you know. And yes, the idea then is that you get this bespoke audience design deep dive and one-on-one sessions with experts. So over the course of 4 days, you're allocated your own audience designer. So you have your own audience designer who follows you and your project only throughout the 4 days. So it's very workshop based, it's very one-on-one. Some of the things that you might kind of talk about or discover is a critical analysis of your project. So really understanding the 360 of it, you know, what's working, what's not working, what needs addressed. And then, you know, from that, we're able to kind of really understand the unique selling points and the highlights of the film, and like, how do we position this film? How do we talk about this film in the industry, in the marketplace, but then also how do we talk about it to our audience, our consumers? And then we've got lots of different tools to discuss themes and the core of the story and the emotional journey of the film. And from there, we then build different audience groups, and we basically build empathy with your audience group so that by the time you're leaving, you have a much, much clearer idea on who your different audience groups are, in which territories, how you're going to talk to them, what are you going to position to them, you know, what's the visual identity that matters to them, because we can't talk to all of our audience groups the same way, because then it's just it'll just be a bit too diluted and a bit too everyone. So these are some of the things that you'll kind of cover in the 4 days. And then on top of that, because we're feeling jazzy and generous, we also have 3 experts in 3 different fields that come in and do 1 hour one-on-one sessions with the film team and the audience designer. So we have someone coming in as an international publicist, and that could be a really good opportunity to ask them, you know, how do I get deadline or variety to cover this? Or when is the best time to announce the project? Or what is the likelihood of me getting coverage during Cannes week, for example? all of the sessions are closed. They're very open, they're very honest, and there are no stupid questions. So this is really the opportunity to feel like you can ask these things without thinking about, repercussions. Then you'll also have a session with a sales agent. So this will be Benjamin Culla from Pluto Film, who is, where is he? He's down here. And he's up there. There you go. And that's also a great opportunity to ask him questions like, how likelihood is it that I'm going to get an MG or a pre-sale in development? What sort of territories do you feel my film will do well in? Which territories will it not sell to? What sort of bias profile could we be thinking about? What about the streaming landscape, the broadcasting landscape? So again, a really great opportunity to ask those questions. And then finally, we'll have a festival strategist as well talk to you about how to even decipher this, because I know that we all say Berlin, Cannes, Venice, but actually there's so much more beyond that. So how can you be very strategic and very realistic as well in your opportunities for your festival journey? So that's it. I didn't want to take too much time. I won't be here at the end of the session, unfortunately. But I will stay for a few minutes. So if you do have any questions that you want to put in the chat box, please do. This is the QR code to the web page for the Audience Design Lab. But generally, I'd just like to finish on that it's really fun. It's very collaborative. It's playful. I mean, you can see we're standing, we're dealing with Post-its, we're drawing little boats, we've got empty chairs that we pretend audience members are in. So it's meant to be a very collaborative, very dynamic, very tiring 4 days, but we've had such amazing feedback, and films have gone on to be nominated for massive awards and have found festival distribution, found international sales and distribution. And it's a great opportunity to just take that moment for the 4 days. I know it's a luxury, but to just align everything and really think deeply about the project. So I invite you, if you have any questions, to put it in the chat. But yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sheila. I think as you cannot stay until the end of the session, it would be great if there are questions on this specific program. We can address it already now. So if there are any questions from the audience, please feel free to jump in and just address it to Sheila. And otherwise, we will move to the next presentation with sustainability management program.
Hi, everyone. Well, thank you so much for turning up and listening to us. First of all, it's really hard to follow after Sheila because, I mean, obviously this course looks amazing. So one day I'll attend myself as well. You never know. So sustainability, we're organizing it for the fourth time for the Screen Institute. And I'm course directing for the third time this year with Jamila Grandit, who's an absolutely amazing counterpart. The way we divide the course and how it looks like is that it's a very holistic approach. So it's quite unique. I do quite a lot of courses in education and I work within sustainability as well. And I can honestly say I haven't really had the opportunity to see this anywhere else where it's so holistic. The approach is so holistic. So we cover environmental sustainability and social sustainability. And this is how it's divided between the course directors as well. My part is the environmental sustainability and Jamila is actually curating the social sustainability aspect. I didn't bring a slide for you, but I am privately looking at our last year's schedule. So I can give you some highlights in terms of what kind of topics we cover, just to give you a flavor. Now, I think in general, like even Sheila mentioned, for example, most of you must have done creative media applications. So you will know that sustainability is becoming a standard requirement, whether that's like writing a sustainability plan or whether you're looking at any kind of climate development funding at the moment. There's quite a few of them popping up more and more actually, which is really brilliant. So from that perspective, we will be covering all of that. We're looking at the entire industry landscape, tax incentives that cover sustainability, any kind of other incentives, requirements, studio requirements. So we're looking at the broad landscape and how that might help your film in sort of like in green light and development stage already. We are also covering climate storytelling, which is an absolutely amazing topic, and we could be talking about it for the full week, but we're not. It's sort of a half day when we're looking at climate storytelling with social sustainability embedded into that as well. We're also looking at carbon calculators, fund requirements, and impact storytelling as well. And everything is connected in that sense. So we're all very, very involved throughout those 5 days. In terms of social sustainability, some of Jamila's sessions covered ethics and curation, authentic authorship, diversity and structure, intimacy coordination, and some really amazing and exciting content. What I would say is that, again, this is 5 days of full involvement. I would warn you, it's very taxing emotionally and well, not physically necessarily. We're not running around, we're not doing laps, but at the same time, it can be very, very impactful. We recommend you to come with a project if you can this year. We trialed this last year and we're going to have a bit more time for that in the schedule. Your project can be anything. We don't want to restrict it. So it's a bit like how Esther was saying before. In terms of an audience, you can come from a filmmaking background, but you can also come from the theatre world, a more cultural background. We had examples of all of that before. We even had sustainability managers come who just wanted to work better with the teams on the ground. And I'm saying this because you don't necessarily have to come with a film project. You can come with a community project, and we're going to work with you on that. What we're hoping as an outcome is that you have a tangible blueprint of what you can take away with you and what you can implement in your life. And I would also say that it's about the community, what we're building, especially within the sustainability segment as well. And that's why it can be so, well, intense and taxing, because we're hearing about each other's stories, and climate is not necessarily always uplifting. We're trying to make it light and easy, but we know it's quite a difficult subject. And the good thing is there will be 15, 20 other people in the room who are sharing their stories. They will become your peers. And even last year, I mean, we closed the sessions on, I think 2 people were like saying they're going to open a company together. So you never know. It's about who you meet there and who you work with. And honestly, if your background is in culture in some way, we're very happy to have you, whether that's line producing or theatre or I don't know, anything else outside of film. What else can I say about the course? I think it's a lot of fun as well at the same time. We do have open sessions where we're trying to open it up in Vienna for the wider industry so they can come along. Last year, it was a very, very impactful impact session, which brought together everything within the holistic umbrella. So we looked at social and environmental at the same time. So I think that was the crown jewel of the whole week. That would be it. Please let me know if you have any questions. And maybe as a closing thought, like I know there's a lot of changes happening in the industry. So there's a lot more incentives and also restrictions coming out at the same time in terms of sustainability. And I think it's really useful to get ahead of the curve. So if you're developing anything, it might be the right time to sort of get up to date with all of this, and that might give you an additional USP as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for the beautiful presentation. Yes, Esther will move forward with Future Ready.
All right. So Future Ready is our is new. We run it for the first time this year, and it's our program that deals specifically with the technological transformations going on in the AV industry. And there we will focus on the business and legal aspects of the transformations, but most importantly also include ethical considerations, which are a big area of questions in these transformations we're in. We will be exploring and showcasing AI-supported projects, but also workflows, look at the latest tools that are out there, learn about virtual productions, immersive formats. Okay, so we'll also look into digital content creation and discuss the new business models that are out there. What can they achieve? What can they not achieve? What's changing? How do you keep making, how do you run a sustainable business? Sustainability is a topic that is a red thread through all of our programs on all aspects. And the program is really designed to empower professionals working in the audiovisual industry to work with the tools, to learn about the mindsets. You need to work with them usefully, so the tools work for you and not you work for the tools. And as mentioned, we'll particularly have a look at the legal frameworks and other conditions that are out there and how to work with them in this dynamic landscape. We'll invite participants to embrace the latest cutting-edge tools, which will be presented while staying grounded in legal, business relevant, and ethical considerations. It's a 3-day program. The program director is Eva Fischer, who is an expert. She has been working on the intersection of arts, technologies, and creativity in the audiovisual field, and has been curating some very interesting programs on artists that have looked at AI from various angles. And some other experts that I can already name drop is, for example, Charlotte Lund Thompson, a producer and a law expert who is dealing with the European legal framework and how it's changing and how to protect producers and creators. And yes, we hope to enable participants to develop future-oriented strategies for their business, for themselves, and create and open their minds, be resilient, and learn to navigate this change while being able to defend creativity, integrity, intellectual property, and all the other European cultural values that we are so proud of. Following these 3 days of input, we will offer the hands-on AI Producers Lab, which is a collaboration with EAVE. And I'm very happy that we are joining forces for this lab with one of the most established European training programs out there. And the lab is designed to further develop and test ideas that were introduced during the Easy Future Ready program. It's meant to be a practical follow-up. It's a 2-day tailor-made workshop format in which you really apply AI tools directly on your specific challenge, which could be a film project. It could also be a business workflow or some other production challenge. And through guided hands-on work and peer exchange, you will really prompt and customize an AI tool that you decide on, supported by mentors who are very experienced in using AI. So it's really meant to provide the space and time that we don't have. And we really want to provide this space and time for you to sit together in a room with other colleagues and prompt and customize and shape your tool the way you want it to work for you. The mentors who will be guiding us through these 2 days are Joanna Simanska from Poland, a producer who uses AI in her daily business and is experimenting with all the new stuff that comes out, which means I imagine that she's working with new tools almost every day these days. Then we have Maciej Semoshin, who is the founder of Poland's first virtual production studio, and who is currently working on. So he's the technical geek in this. He knows all the technical tools out there for creation and filmmaking, and very interestingly, he's working on technological tools to help teams that are spread all over the world. So for virtual collaboration. And then we have Claudia Lacher there, who is a filmmaker and artist, and she has been experimenting with AI on very interesting angles. And her focus will be to look on the ethical aspects and on bias, and she comes in with her feminist perspective, having a look at how to make sure the AI is not transporting and further taking on the biases and inequalities that we have in the society. Yes, do you want me to quickly run through the other programs that we have, for which we unfortunately don't have the programs directors here today? But who
Yes, we so aside from Audience Design Lab, Sustainability Management and Future Ready, which Future Ready is the newly designed course that we are offering for the first time this year. We are coming up also with Business and Legal Affairs. I will tell you a little bit more about it, and Market Ready. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, this is the overview of the courses for 26. Yes. So for Business and Legal Affairs, in this course, we will dive into the legal and financial framework that it's presenting to the media professional during the whole life cycle of the audiovisual production. So from the moment of the very early stage of development, so when the rights need to be secured, be it from the side of the producer or the side of the creator, or when these two figures actually are identical, what the player needs to be aware of, where the attention should be focused in negotiating. And then this will run along the whole life cycle of the production of the content, going to the production phase. For example, we will dive into the aspects of European co-production, so how to deal with the different dynamics that could present themselves during negotiation. For example, how to deal with negotiation when the producer is in a minority position or in a majority, how to deal with funds, how to regulate several aspects. And this both from a legal perspective, but also from a financial perspective. So the participants will learn also how to put together finance plan, how to regulate the waterfall, which is actually the very late process of audiovisual exploitation. So actually when the money that have been invested are coming in, so how to regulate this special waterfall. And for this, actually, for example, we collaborate with collecting agent like Vintage. So during the business and legal affairs, they come and explain how this revenue share can be put together effectively and reasonably. So going through the production phase to the distribution phase, how to deal with distributor, sales agent, which are the provisions in the contract that might require more attention and more knowledge from the side of the producer. All these aspects together with the AI focus, of course, because this is actually coming it's becoming part of each program that we offer. We have a special AI focus because there are tools actually that can be implemented together with every topic that we are covering. Yes, so this is what concerns business and legal affairs. So I consider it personally kind of a crucial knowledge to have when one person decides to operate in the media industry. Also covering different roles. So as I said, we welcome also film commissioners, members of institution and so on to strengthen their knowledge on this. The experts that come to teach at our course in business and legal, for example, they come also from different countries. So we do use a kind of European approach, of course, of offering some focuses on the different perspective that pertain US and continental Europe. But then each expert, for example, coming from the UK, from France, from Italy, from Poland, from different countries, can bring the technicalities and some important aspects that characterize the country, which of course are really important to know when one is dealing with European co-production. And yes, and this course will take, this program will take place in June, end of June, from the 22nd to the 26th. What is also characterizing this course is the possibility to have a one-on-one with the experts. So each participant can actually require to have 15 to half an hour one-on-one as a follow-up of the program, so that any questions can be raised that were not posed during the course for multiple reasons. Of course, this is a safe environment, and all the participants and experts are required to keep confidentiality on all information that was shared. But still, the participants might prefer to have just a one-on-one session and discuss a very specific aspects of the project or the case that they are dealing with. And this has been proven to be very appreciated by the participants. It's a new introduction from last year. So we want to repropose it for 26 because it's we think it's a super opportunity to exchange with legals and to any expert. And yes, and then we are what we did not focus on yet is market ready. So I will also tell you a little bit more about that. Market ready is for media professionals that are moving their first steps into the industry. So they want to learn and they want to be equipped with all the tools to be able to participate to the first festivals, and how to negotiate with distributors, sales agents, how to put together their finance plan and all the financial backbone of their project. Normally, at Market Ready, participants come with a project that it's more or less to the end end stage of the production. So when it's the moment to bring the project out there in the market, so they want to learn how to be more effective when they pitch the project, how to package it, to which festival they should participate, and to which sales agent and distributors, on which sales agent and distributor they should focus on, and how to deal with them. And in this course, for example, we have a significant part composed by individual mentoring, which is super important, because then all the participants can work actually on their very own project, and they can ask concrete questions on how to boost and how to be more effective in selling the project and bringing out there into the market. Because we have noticed, of course, that in many instances, all the effort is actually it's given to the creative and production phase, but sometimes there is some knowledge needed also to sell the project in an effective manner. So yes, so this is a short description of the program. You will see the dates in the screen. Or we would also like to offer a special rate for all the participants to this session, although the early birds fees rate have expired last week. We would like to apply it also for you participants at this session, if you're interested in applying to the program. So you will need to apply, of course, as soon as possible, and let us know that you attended this session, and we will be happy to provide you with a discount. Yes, another thing, as Esther was mentioning, we also focus a lot on networking, and that's why during each program we have one evening that it's dedicated. It's an open session, so there is a kind of a follow-up of the daily program, of the daily agenda of the course, and there is a 1 or 2 hour session where we invite all the professionals located in Vienna, all the alumni that are located in Vienna, to come and to listen to a panel that we organize. And of course, we organize a networking event, and there, so the participants have the chance to meet also with the local professionals and to exchange, and all the alumni are welcome to join. Yes, I think that's all. I don't know if there are any questions from the audience. And of course, the fees, we did not mention them, but you will find them in the website. So, and you will also see information on how to get financing from your local institution. So, because we try to collaborate actually with local institution in order that the participants don't need to cover all the entire fee themselves. So whenever we are able to use this kind of connection, we help the participant to secure that. And we have put together some informative material for each country. So yes, let's see if there are any questions here. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything in the chat. So if there are any questions from the audience, please feel free to join and just pose it.
Sylvia raised her hand.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. And yeah, while we're waiting for other questions, since you mentioned the partnership that you have with local institution, you know that in Italy it's quite an issue. Because this is really a problem. In fact, we do not have really institutions that provide scholarship and financial support to attend this training for professional, except for some regions that in fact have also funds, but it's really it happens in a very few cases. So I know that also media activities usually provide scholarship for low capacity countries, and but maybe since we do not have really scholarship in Italy, would you help in a way a professional coming from our country, or there is a way maybe to get a discount?
Thank you for that, Silvia. So we know actually as you said, some regional funds, they have, they support trainings. For example, Friuli Venezia Giulia, we know that they are supporting such kind of initiatives. And we know that other regional funds are open to the possibility, if this course can be, and the training in case can be claimed as a development budget, for example. So if the project that the participant is working on has received development funds, the training can be claimed as such. So we had some talks with a few regional film commission that were open in that sense. If this is not possible, we will examine the request case by case. So it's our aim and our goal. So we put 100% effort to make sure that every participant can attend. So if the participant has a financial obstacle, is welcome to talk about it in the application, mention this in the application, explain why they need financial support, and we will do our best to secure that a discount on the fee. Yes, so we know that there are some tiny open doors, of course. Also there, assess on a case-by-case basis from regional funds. And if should this not be possible, we will, of course, consider the possibility to grant a discount. So normally we are very keen on providing the discount if this is, what it's preventing the participant from really attending to the course. This should not be. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And actually, another few words. It's not a program for 26 because it's a biannual program. So we are organizing this for 27. But we also have a pro women producer program that it's dedicated only to women. And in that case, for example, in the past, and we hope also for next year, we established collaboration with local institutions, and we were able to secure that the fees, the full fee from the participant was covered by the local institution. So in this case, the participants were not required to pay any fee. But this is another program. It's subject to other fundings, but I would just like to mention and draw your attention on that because, yes, for next year, we will have the applications again coming up. And you will find more information in our website. Anyway, and Esther is actually one of the the main originator of the program, and still, of course, she runs the program as a course director. So whenever you have any doubt, you can definitely reach out to her. And we actually established a beautiful group of alumni during these years at ISE. We have noticed some participants of certain programs then came back to strengthen their knowledge in another area of industry, and we like to bring them all together during some festivals. For example, now in Berlin, we had an alumni event. We hosted a lunch where all the alumni came together. So we would also like to boost this part in the future and to make this group bigger and bigger. So we will be happy to, if you want to join, and we will be happy to see you in Vienna.
Yeah, if there are no other questions, I think it's 12 o'clock, so
right on time.
Yeah, we are perfect on time. Thank you so much for your presentation. I think that you can really see everything was really very, very clear, and you can really see the impact on the career development and projects. And so I really hope that you will have some applications from Italy this year. And your contact details are on the chat already, I can see, and then on your website, of course. So thank you so much again.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.